let's get started here. So, David Nathan here. How are you, my man? Hopefully all is well. Things have been a little chaotic. I apologize for the craziness been going on right now, but we're running into some issues that are out of my, I guess, control for a minute. Um, Today we're going to be doing some little special. I think what we've found in our space is that due diligence has became not only a requirement, of course, but a problem-some situation because not all the data is easy to access. And a lot of the stuff we're trying to get to is all over the place.
Yeah.
So in your experience, Nathan, what did you start off with and what did you start doing when you first got into due diligence? How did you manually do a lot of stuff?
When I first started, again, this was back in the day when there was never any equity, right? So it was always negative equity. So I had to know what the value of the house was. That was like number one job. Number two job is to find out if there are any outstanding liens, any outstanding whatevers, anything else besides the first lien that I've just purchased. So I would do, when I very first started, I would do calls to counties, and I would ask about taxes and things like that. I would do all kinds of things like that. And then the further I went along, I met a guy named Alex. And he told me about these title searches, and I'm like, oh, really? So started ordering those. And at the very first, especially, I'm not even sure how many times I called Alex. I'm like, okay, what does this mean? And like, how do I read this? And like, what is that? When it says this on the report, what is that? And I went over it with him, and he was very patient with me and coached me through how to read these reports that he was producing, and it was extremely helpful. And now I don't call him nearly as much. Every once in a while, I still get stumped, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. So I'll still call either Alex or somebody on his team and just say, so what is this line? I've never seen that before.
Yeah, I think for a lot of us, it was a lot of information in the beginning, and we were getting not only going after Zoom, going after Zillow, and going after, Realtor, all these different sites to gather data. Then we go to the county records. And then it became a point where it was a lot of information everywhere. And in the note space, we're lazy.
Yeah.
Right. Let's be honest here. We're extremely lazy people. And I think what we've found is we like things to be as simple as possible for us to be doing things in a clean layout. We're talking in just Wednesday about the idea of don't send us PDFs, send us something a little bit cleaner.
Yeah.
Right. Spreadsheets. However,
And a spreadsheet, I can easily move it around. I can, arrange it how I like to see it, that kind of thing. It's just way easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, clean and easy to read. I've seen title reports from some people where it takes me a while to just decipher it. And so that's actually one thing I really liked about ProTitle, and we'll have Alex come on in here in just a minute, but yeah, I find their reports are really easy to read, very straightforward. Those first couple of pages of the summary, and it's just all the information's right there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think for us, we often want things to be as clean as possible for us to look at, but also in a layout that is consistent.
Yeah.
In our space, a lot of things aren't consistent.
Right.
And when I first looked at ProTitle, I oddly enough easily understood it because the way it laid out and things kind of, brought to our attention. So it was really cool to see that happen.
Yeah.
When we come across stuff like this, it makes our job as investors a whole lot easier to do, which is great. So when we say this stuff, we bring on someone like Alex to kind of share his knowledge and experience. It's extremely beneficial, right? Yeah. So we want to bring on Alex. I'm going to screw him in here. It may be Sal may be working on Facebook, LinkedIn, which is great. If not, let us know. But we're recording this. Will be on YouTube real quick. So Alex, how long have you been doing this title stuff. It feels like forever.
It feels like forever. Hey guys, great to be here. Not only you're my clients, you're my friends, right? Every time we meet, it's a small group of folks that know each other. I love to hang out with you guys. Next time I'll see you at the conference, we'll definitely catch a drink. But I've been doing this stuff since 2007 as ProTitle USA. But prior to that, I was the investor, just like you, Dave, and you, Nathan, into apartment buildings and student housing. And I used somebody else, and I absolutely hated them. And therefore, I said, listen, I want to build something better, which is easier to understand for the investors. And I launched ProTitle, which was an experiment for me, but apparently it was successful enough to make it a full-time business, and it grew exponentially to the point of, you know, us today sitting talking to each other while we have contracts with some of the large funds out there, billion-dollar funds, GSCs, FDIC, and others that now utilize ProTitle as one of the key vendors to provide the title data. And as you pointed out, David, it's the key is standardizing the data. It doesn't matter where it comes from, right? You have 3,500 jurisdictions in the US. Every jurisdiction has its own unique way of recording data or documents. And we have solved the issue of, you know, pulling the data from different jurisdictions, different documents, standardizing the data, and delivering a single formatted report to the investor. So it's easy to understand whether the data comes from Vermont or Maine or Florida or Puerto Rico, for that matter. And we do service quite a bit of investors in the capital markets, both in residential and commercial space. So that's sort of my story, how far we go back and how far we went forward from the time we started.
I'm trying to remember when we met. It was probably like 2012 or 13, somewhere in there, 14 maybe.
I'd say prior to that, but
somewhere in there. I don't remember, but I remember meeting Alex and going, man, this guy is looking to make a mark. He wants to dominate this space, and in a big way, I think you've done that. Where, you know, you go and ask anybody, who do you get your title reports from, and almost always ProTitle. That's the name that comes up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy that you know, we dove in to the space, and I wanted to design the best product in the market, right? In fact, right now I own 3 companies, right? So I'm a CEO of 3 companies. ProTitle is one of them. I have acquired nationwide doc prep and recording firm called Doc Solution USA out of Houston in 2021. And now we're growing like crazy. And the company that we're probably going to touch on this call is called Diligence. That's the software company that is targeted to solve the data extraction, machine learning, AI aspects of loan files, right? When you do diligence. Combining all 3 creates a very powerful one-stop shop solution for any investor that nibbles at the mortgage investments. So the more I look at the market, the more I see that with a lot of automation and AI, you can consolidate a lot of the services into a single package and make it so efficient that not only the title, credit and compliance, the loan file review, critical document review, data extraction, solving curative issues, preparing the assignments automatically, that's all going to be solved in a single shop. You don't need 3 vendors, you just need 1, or at least 1 umbrella, right? So that's the goal for me next, to go ahead and create this single structure of seamless due diligence on the market that nobody else has.